Versus right, us versus them. While we pay to keep our politicians fighting, how do we, the people, rise up and solve the great challenges of our time? We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, everybody. Larry Sharp. I am back. I know you missed me. I was away for a week. I apologize, but I am back. I was hanging out in D.C. Maybe not the best place to hang out, but that's where I was. I am back here on A Free Solution. So happy to be here in WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York. Reach out to me. You can ask me about DC if you want. I don't know why you would, but you could. 585-346-3000. I apologize in advance for my nasally voice. My allergies are killing me. Yesterday they started hammering me, and they're hammering me again today. I think I got like 2-3 days of getting smashed by my allergies, but I'm still here. See that? I still care. The things that have happened here in New York are constantly more of the same. They might say, Larry, what do you mean things are changing all over the place? Well, there are different things that are popping up, but the answers we come up with are always the same. Write a check or make a law. That's it. That's the answers. Write a check or make a law, and sometimes both. And then when we do that, how are we able to actually solve the problem? How are we able to get people to help themselves? We're not. This has been our way for decades. There's a problem. I'm a good leader. How do you know I'm a good leader? Because I got people to pass laws and write checks. Oh, did you motivate people? Did you inspire people? Did you create an environment to where people could change themselves, where people could find the right answers and have long-term solutions within their communities? Oh, no, I didn't do that. I wrote a check and passed laws. See, I'm a good leader. That's where we are now. Now, you might say, Larry, why do I care? Let these guys, let these gals, let them pass their laws and write their checks. Look, I got a job to do. I got a family to take care of. I don't care about these knuckleheads. Well, you should care. There's a couple reasons why. Let's say you're out there doing your job, running your business. The people that you're working with are people who are under this environment. The people who you're hiring, the people who you're working for, the people who are working for you, the people who are your coworkers. They're all in this environment, aren't they? They're in an environment where they say, if you're a leader, write a check or pass a law. That's it. And if you've noticed, that happens in business now too. There's a problem. Make a new policy in your business, or write somebody a check or fire somebody. That's it. Don't change the environment so that it won't get better, that it will get better. Don't do that. Write a check, fire somebody, make a policy. Done. See, I've done stuff. But could you instead use your influence, use your intellect, use your experience, and help change the environment so that bad thing doesn't happen? No, I'm going to fire somebody, change a policy, and write a check to my insurance company. Done. What's your problem? What if it's your family? Larry, I don't have a business. I'm retired. I don't care. How valuable is your money? How valuable is your money? If every time there's a problem, the government writes a check and you're getting some kind of government money, how valuable is your money? You're seeing it. I don't have to tell you. You're seeing it. You should care. You don't have to care. Not required. Well, you should. That's for sure. But I'm still not done. What kind of environment are our children and us and our loved ones walking around in? A black market environment. Now, some of you hear that and go, so I don't care about a black market. I'm not in the black market. Well, our policies keep putting us there more and more in the black market because we don't solve the problem and you just try to force perfection, you get the black market. It's a saying I use when I do my business training. When you demand perfection, you will get deception. That's how it works because humans aren't perfect. But they can't not be perfect because you play the failure's not an option. You play that dumb game. And when you play that game, they go, oh, is that an option? So I'll just lie when I fail. Well, there we go. Or I'll do stuff not in your system so you can't tell when I failed. Either way, it works. That's the black market. That's the black market in a business. And that's the black market in the United States, in New York. You might say, why do I care? Violence. That's why. That's the reason. You've seen violence go up. Violence hasn't gone up because, well, I'm a bad guy, so I'm going to start shooting people. That's not how it works. There are bad guys who want to shoot people. Those people exist. Absolutely. But they can't get gangs together. They can't gather people unless it's a black market. So all of a sudden now, I have more violence in my world, in my neighborhood, with my friends and my family. It's not what I want. But why in the world would the government do that? Why would the government go, I'm okay with the black market? Because the government is validated by the black market. The government creates a problem, the black market, then tries to fix the problem. I'm sorry, that's a lie. They don't try to fix it. Then government acts upon that market, which doesn't fix it. It just makes more of a black market so that it can keep enforcing and validate itself. And I'll give you a bunch of answers. I'm sorry, a bunch of examples. From years ago, SAFE Act. SAFE Act was supposed to stop a problem, which I didn't know what the problem was. But what did SAFE Act actually do? Create a black market. A black market in accessories for firearms, a black market in ammunition. That's what it did. And if you're a gun owner, you know what I'm talking about. How many of us have lost, I'm doing air quotes, firearms, or lost, air quotes again, ammunition? How many and many people do you know have done that? I'm sure you didn't, wink, but I know you know people who did. You're asking for a friend. And then how do we fix this issue? Red flag laws. See? So we add more laws to solve a problem that we created to make more of a black market. I'm still not done. Cannabis. Cannabis has been in the black market for how long? How many hundreds of years? So now we're going to legalize it. And what are we going to create? A black market. We see it in California. We see it in Colorado. We're going to see it here in New York. So the black market stays. Why do I really care about a black market if people are trading peacefully? In theory, no. Right? In theory, if you want to trade, I trade. Well, what do I care? The problem is two issues. Issue one, what happens when we have a miscommunication or we don't understand? What happens when I just screw you over? Happens in business. Can't call the cops. Can't go to court. Time for some street justice. Violence. But let's say we never mess up. Me and you, we trade back and forth, never have a problem. Eventually it gets big enough so the government goes, where's my cut? I'm the mob. I want my cut. We go, why should I give you a cut? We're trading happily here without you. Oh, no. You can't do that. We're the government mob. So then the government will then initiate violence. Either way, it becomes violent. Either we mess up and become violent, or the government steps in and creates violence. Either one, it's going to be violent. That's cannabis. Oh, I'm not done. Family law. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, you couldn't pay a child support? I'll put you in jail. So now you can't work. So when you get out, what do? Black market work. Of course. So now I've opened a black market now because I can't be on the books now to make any money. I made that happen too. There's more. Lots more examples that New York is. And the reason why I bring this up, believe it or not, is because of parole reform. Oh, yeah. You know I was going there, and I will be going there. You think I'm right? You think I'm crazy? 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, a free solution. Back after break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
The Finger Lakes Castle team is in its 7th decade of factory direct service to the service professional. From cleaning the ins and outs of your vehicle to keeping you on the road, Castle's got you covered. Castle makes streak-proof glass cleaner, FDA-registered sanitizers, and EPA-registered hospital-grade disinfectants. Remember, when you need to keep it clean, use what the pros use. Castle. Accept no substitutes.
Castle keeps it clean.
A message from the National Police Association. It used to be that any able-bodied person would offer to assist a police officer in danger. Now, passers-by are more likely to take a video. There's a better use for your phone when an officer's in trouble. Call 911. Tell the operator where you are and what you see. Then, start your video to provide evidence later. To learn more about how you can assist law enforcement, visit nationalpolice.org. That's nationalpolice.org.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to Simple Tech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that Simple Tech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at Simple Tech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at Simple Tech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp is back after 1 week away. I know some of you were crying. I know some of you were. It's okay. I was crying too. I'm back here on WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York. And Newark, New York is just cooler than Newark, Jersey. Sorry, guys. I'm a New Yorker. It's just how it is. I'm happy that you guys are here with me today. You can follow me because I'm also host the Sharp Way Show. You can check out all my things on the interwebs, the Sharp Way, Twitter, YouTube, all the things. Enjoy. But today I'm with you. WYSL 585-346-3000. I was talking about the black market and how we constantly support the black market while pretending to solve problems. And we're not. I brought up cannabis, family law, SAFE Act, I'm not done. How about vaping? Trying to make vapors, go away with government laws. Look, I'm not a vapor. But if vaping is as bad as the detractors say, if that's true, and I do not know if it's true or not, and not my concern, to be fair with you. Your body, you want to vape, enjoy. You don't want to vape, all good. I have no issues with that whatsoever. I will let your communities decide how they want to handle that. All good. But if it's bad, like they say, shouldn't you just educate your population? If it's such a terrible idea, won't people figure it out? Right? And even if they don't they have a right to do so? Isn't it terrible to eat, 12 Twinkies every day? Isn't that a bad thing? I mean, probably 1 or 2 is probably okay. Just saying. 12 is probably bad. Not that I'm a doctor, I have no idea, but I would assume eating 12 Twinkies every day is a bad idea. For the sake of argument, it is. Do I make that illegal? No. But what do I do now? I would create a black market in Twinkies. Now you might say, Larry, black market in Twinkies. Come on. I'm not joking. There's literally a black market in many things. Why? Because of our lockdowns. Yes, the most recent way that our government is going to save us is the lockdowns. So what do you now have? You have a black market in things that people can't get because of labor shortages, because of lockdowns. So there's a black market in that too. And so, Larry, I think of the black market as just being drugs. Well, that's part of it, without question. Of course. Absolutely. And now, even more. I just gave you like 3 or 4 examples. And here's another one. Food, toilet paper, all those things. And you might say, well, Larry, do we really care about that? We might not initially. Maybe I'm just going to throw you some extra cash here or there. Who cares? But when we do this for literally years now, next year it'll be 2 years, you get people accustomed to working this way. And they'll start doing other things. And that's when the violence comes in. And we're seeing it now. We're also seeing a black market, I'm not done, in labor. Why? Because remember what I said government does well? Pass laws and write checks. Writing tons of checks. Lots of checks. Well, I'm getting checks. If I go to work, I may not get that check. But I still want to work. So how do I work? Black market. Of course. That is a black market in labor. And you know people who are doing it. I'm sure you're not doing it. But your friend, air quotes friend, your friend's doing it. Right? I see it. So now people are getting their check and then working off the books. That's black market work. Well, Larry, why do I care? Because again, assuming that you go back and forth without any problems, life is good. What happens when I don't want to pay you all of a sudden? Or I stop showing up, but still want my check. Any of those things. Oh, I'm sorry, my cash. I want my cash. Then what happens? Can't go to court. Violence. Or what happens when the government realizes how much black market work there is? And they come in and crack down and start saying, you owe us money. You can't pay? Off to jail you go. That's fraud. Off to jail you go. Violence even in that. Lockdowns, vaping, guns, family court, cannabis. Again and again and again. We try to solve a problem. We either write a check or pass a law, and we create more of a black market, which creates more problems, which creates more violence, and things keep getting worse. This is our system. So now we've decided, you know what? We have this bad system. We're putting those people in jail. We'll do parole reform. Not that I'm against parole reform in New York State. I'm not against parole reform. I'm not. My worry is this will be just as bad as our bail reform was. I'm not against bail reform. I'm for bail reform. I'm not for the bail reform that we got and the way it's put in. I'm not at all. It's like Afghanistan. I'm glad about Afghanistan. Man, that was not the way to get out. But I'm glad we're out. I want bail reform, but not this one. I want parole reform. I'm afraid this one's going to be bad too. Because none of it deals with core issues. And that's the problem. We're saying there's a problem, so let's pass a law versus let's end the black market. Let's make it so that less people are going to jail for phony crimes. Larry, what's a phony crime? A crime with no victim. A crime against the state. Let's end those and put less people in jail, and then we can deal with those other issues. But they can't in any way say the people they've put in jail was done wrong. So instead, they fix the end. They fix the branch and not the root. And it drives me crazy. We have a lot of, we have a lot of comments. I'm going to grab some of these if I could. Again, I apologize. My allergies are killing me today, but I didn't want to leave you. I left you last week. I can't do it again. Joe says the black market thrives because of bad government policies and too much regulation. 100%. 100%. With a more open market, which is only concerned about fraud. Let me bring up the word regulate. What regulation was supposed to be, it is not. What it was supposed to be was to make the market regular. And I'm not against government doing that, meaning if there were rules and regulations that say, here is what an inch is, here is what a pound is, here is, basic contract law, that's fine. That's not telling you what to do and how you can do it. It's saying, here's how you can measure every aspect of your market. And that's fine. Let government do that. We're going to do we're going to make it all in inches, and here's how you make an inch, and here's how much a pound is. And then the government retains, here is the actual pound and how we will measure these things. Totally fine. But you can sell what you want, how you want, for whatever you want. But here's how we make the market regular. I'm fine with that. That's not where we are. And if we move more towards that, where the only issue is fraud, which fraud is a crime, right? If you say it's a pound and you know it's half a pound, that's fraud. That's a problem. So I'm okay with those types of laws. Otherwise, we have a bigger problem. So yes. Ed says, as much as the mandates, we know there aren't laws. Ooh, valid point, Ed. I shouldn't just say laws. I'll just say rules and regulations, which would include mandates and laws and regulations from other bodies. Thank you. You're right, Ed. And regulations, we know it leads to more problems, to have more black markets to happen. If they were to have removed the mandates and regulations, there won't be a black market. Well, again, I'll go back to my regulate concept. They don't have to remove them all. They can keep those that standardize the market. That's fine. Let's go where we want to go. Right? We'll move in the right direction. Totally okay with that. Gilhunt Warrior says, boating accidents. Yes. I can't find any of my firearms. They're at the bottom of a river. How could I do? I don't know where they are. Yes. So, yes. All right. So Andrew says, the voters of my hometown and other school district are to vote on a possible merger of my high school and the other school. To vote no on the merger is ridiculous. Why? The state comes in and shuts down both of the schools. Wow. It's an odd one, Andrew. Jack says, LOL, in 1913, they got their cut. They're still getting their cut, Jack. It hasn't gone away. They're still getting it. It's not going away. And it says, end liquor licenses. Prohibition ended, which one would think to end liquor licenses? I've asked people about liquor licenses, and most people say, well, you want to be able to control, selling to the youth. You don't want bar owners selling booze to 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, whatever the case may be. And I agree. Look, consenting adult, I'm with you. But you don't require a license for that. Just have inspectors. It still works. Licensing is for control. You're right, Andrew. Am I right? Am I wrong? 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp here with bad allergies. I'm so sorry. On a free solution. Back after the break.
Fly the flag, stand for freedom.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon, Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll be looking at mostly cloudy skies. We'll stay in the 60s. Could be a shower late on Wednesday. Showers will increase, so have that umbrella handy. Temperatures will be in the 70s, still a bit mild, a bit muggy. Thursday could be some pretty good rain, especially in the morning. It'll turn noticeably cooler, too, on Thursday with temperatures in the 60s. I'm Rich Cornelia, WYSL.
Hi, this is Gary Mervis, founder of Camp Good Days. September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, and I want to encourage all men, especially those that are 50 and older, to talk to their physician about their prostate health. As men, we don't typically think about our prostate or what it even does until it becomes a problem. Speaking from personal experience, I can tell you that keeping track of your prostate health should be a priority. In order to make sure your prostate is in good shape, your doctor can give a digital exam or order a simple blood test to check your PSA levels. If something is wrong, the best option is to get answers is a biopsy. Prostate cancer is one of the most frequently diagnosed cancer and second leading cause of cancer death in American men. It's very treatable if caught early enough. However, the best form of treatment is being proactive with your doctor. Camp Good Days hosted a number of men's prostate cancer retreats. With the help of Dr. Gene Joseph, chair of the Department of Urology at the University of Rochester, and Louis Eichel, chief of urology at the division in Rochester General Hospital. For more information, call our office at 624-5555 or visit campgooddays.org.
Do you, like many business owners, feel your business is your other child? You started it, worried when things weren't well, watched it grow, proud of its successes, and now the business is running well. So you start to think, how am I going to transfer this business and make sure I get the most value for it? Who am I going to sell it to? Family, key employees, favorite competitors? What's my business worth? What kind of payment terms am I going to get? What are the tax implications and business agreements I need? What's going to be the impact for me and my family? I'm Alan Ginsberg of the A.M. Ginsberg Advisory Group. We work with many business owners regarding business continuation plans. We'll be glad to sit down and discuss your situation and look at the options that you may have available. Call my office at 585-377-4720. If you start to think about it, don't wait till the last minute.
Securities offered through Securities America, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Securities America Advisors, Inc., A.M. Ginsberg Advisory Group, and Securities America Companies are separate entities.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Inside the Taylor Laboratories.
Hey, Tony, what you doing?
A little experiment, Zach. Look what I have under the microscope.
Ugh, what's that?
A sample of indoor air.
How can it be that dirty? Don't AC and furnace filters help?
Only with dust, Zach. But when Taylor installs a whole house APCO air purifier to detox the air, odors, chemicals, mold, bacteria, and viruses are removed.
For clean indoor air.
Yep. Ain't science awesome?
Taylor, 500 help.
Come home to calm, quiet, and beautiful Woodgate apartments and townhomes in Spencerport. Just minutes from downtown Rochester. Choose from 1 or 2 bedroom apartments or 2 or 3 bedroom 2-floor townhomes in an historic canal village featuring nearby restaurants and shopping. You'll appreciate the balconies, patios, and beautiful pool. The townhomes include an attached garage. Come take a tour and meet our friendly and knowledgeable on-site staff, Cedar Circle in Spencerport, or visit woodgateplaceapts.com to learn more.
Stokey Farms, Rochester's favorite farm, is now open for the season. Bring the whole family out to enjoy more than 35 exciting activities, including
Last spot.
kilos, beeline, farm animal, hayride, and so much
welcome.
more. Stokey Farms, now open weekends through October. StokeyFarms.com for details.
A free solution.
Yes, you know it. Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. And here's the best part about A Free Solution is that it's on every day. Yeah, it's on noon every day. I'm here Tuesday, but we got the cool Kevin Wilson here Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes we even get Andrew Halsey to show up when we bug him enough. And on Thursdays, we got the man himself, Tim O'Connor. So you should be watching and listening. How can you do that? You can connect to us on Facebook. You can connect to us on YouTube, so you always get the show. Come on now. This is cool Western New York stuff. And if you don't think Western New York is cool, you just don't know any better. I'm sorry, it is. Totally is. But today, it's me, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. I want to grab a couple more of these comments if I could, but before I go there, I just want to make one more comment here. When you think the answer to a problem is throwing money at it or passing a rule or a law or regulation or mandate to keep Ed's right, not all of them are laws. Some are, but not all are. When you think that's the answer, you're saying, I don't trust the people. You're saying, I don't want to give people a way to fix their own issues or to grow. It's poor leadership. It's not that it's just neutral. It's harmful and it's bad leadership, because most people will copy the leadership above them. So if you're doing things that aren't good, most people will follow that, right? Most will. Some won't. There will always be people who be exceptions and will move out no matter what. Absolutely. But when you set up an environment, you want to set an environment where most people will do well, right? Where most people will do the right thing. And with good systems and good environments, the vast, vast majority of people will do the right thing. There's always going to be the knucklehead or the bad guy or gal. They exist. But no matter what system you have, that person can do something bad or desperate or whatever. But the better your system, the less chance you have any of that. So let me grab some of these comments if I could. So Tim O'Connor says, they had me, Larry Sharp, everything was fine. Yes, Tim was filling in for me last week. So I'm sure he rocked it. He always does. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. So yes. All right, Brian says, government was fine with vaping until the tainted vapes appeared in the cannabis black market, which, by the way, the black market quickly ended as it was harming their customers. Well, Brian, you brought 2 points. Point number one, government decided when it comes to the vaping industry that when they were tainted black market vaping products, they would now instead pass heavier laws for the actual vape shops who aren't in the black market. So they said, well, we can't punish the black market, so we'll punish the regular market, because we got to punish somebody. Got to do something. And I wish that wasn't what the government often does. But the government's often got to do something. So they did. So in their attempt to do something and punishing the legal vape shop owners who, be clear, had no tainted vapes. They did nothing wrong. They actually helped the black market. They rewarded people who kill children. Let me say it again. The government rewarded the people who kill children. And the people who were going out of their way to not hurt people, meaning the vape shop owners, the people who were doing the right thing, they punished them. So they rewarded the child killers and punished the people who were doing the right thing. That's government at its finest. Now it's really rocking and rolling. And best off of the whole thing, no apology, no acknowledgement, and let's double down. And let's push more vaping products into the black market. More. Crazy, right? But that's government. So that's the first part you brought up. Second, when products are hurting customers or doing things that customers don't want, the black market changes. Now, there is an exception here when it comes to some of the hardest drugs. Some of the people who are addicts actually want the hardest drugs, which might kill you. So the market responds to that and gives them harder drugs, which might kill them. Now, if you didn't have a black market, you could then measure the drugs effectively and not give you drugs that might kill you. But because the market, when it comes to some of these drugs, some addicts, not all, but some addicts want the hardest stuff, well, you wind up getting the unsafe stuff. And they're okay with it. They're actively seeking it out. So the black market will end harming its customers if the customers don't want to be harmed. I know that sounds crazy, but the black market always responds to its customers the best. As harsh as that sounds, it does. So you have 2 points, Brian. I like both of them. Yes. So, all right. Jonathan says, good afternoon from Colorado, Larry. Spot on as usual. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yes. All right. Shona says, now we are seeing more unlicensed daycares popping up. Yes. Now, here's the problem with this. And this goes back to my violence thing. Do I think that unlicensed daycares are a bad thing? Of course not. That's how many, particularly working class, working poor, middle class people have dealt with daycares most of their lives. If you're wealthy, you're hiring babysitters or you're sending them to a special school or something if you're wealthy, right? Daycare is not a thing if you're wealthy. You don't have to care about that. You've got a special place to send your kid because you're wealthy. Good for you. I'm not mad at you. Good for you. I'm saying if you're middle class, working poor, or working class, whatever, wherever you might be in that area, daycare is a big deal for you. Like, it's a big deal. So for many people, it was, in the past, family and friends. Neighborhood, guy or gal who was home that we trusted, that we knew from whatever, our civic association, our church group, whatever the case may be. That was a common thing. That got regulated out. Why? Because when government made all the licensing rules and people decided to not follow them, the government came in and used violence to stop them. There's that violence thing again. If you remember when I was running for office, what did I try to create? Child gardens, which is exactly what we talked about. It is unlicensed daycare. And the only difference is you make a nonprofit. So there is an organization that exists, some of entity. So Sean, if you wanted to have your own daycare, all you have to do is spend, I think it's $40. I forgot what it costs. But whatever that is, and you create a nonprofit, you can do it online, right? It's not that expensive. And now you have an entity. You collect your money through that nonprofit. You're good. That's it. So you do. And the second thing, of course, is you must be transparent. You must let everyone who comes to your child garden, not child care, they're separate things. Child care is licensed. Child garden is unlicensed. Excuse me. You must let everyone know that is unlicensed. And then your community decides whether they care or not. If your community says, no, I will only go to licensed. Licensed daycare is there. Go ahead. Community says, I don't mind. I love Shauna. She's awesome. They can go. And you can charge what you want to charge as long as everything's above board. And so everyone knows what the contracts and agreements are. Life is good. Now, what would happen? This would actually support the working poor, middle class in normal times. But in now current times, with the lockdowns And is school open? Is school closed? And what's going to happen? And who's doing homeschooling? It can support anybody. I completely see that's happening. Now, in my rules, in my regulations, as Ed would say, in my mandates, hope I wouldn't have any mandates, that's legal. As long as you are transparent. It's all I care about. Your community needs to know what you're doing and how you're doing it. As long as you're okay with that, I'm fine. In today's world, those people might get in trouble. And let a kid get sick. Let a kid get hurt. And watch the lawsuits everywhere. The lawsuits come down, then the cops come down. Why are you running an unlicensed daycare? Child endangerment. I'm not joking. And now your DA all of a sudden comes down, and there's the violence I keep talking about. Black markets encourage violence. Let's get rid of the black market. And we don't have to worry about these other things. That's the most important piece. As we attack, we open the black market, and we attack more. Rinse, repeat. Larry Sharp, here on Our Free Solution. WYSL. Back after the break.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
Hi, my name is Ryan Bourne.
And I'm Danica Bourne.
And we're the owners of South Coast Tax. We would like to thank our Lord for protecting us from evil. Psalm 91 states, "He is my refuge and my fortress, for he will rescue us from every trap and protect us from deadly disease."
South Coast Tax are Christian-based tax accountants and attorneys who specialize in releasing bank levies, wage garnishments, and filing complex tax returns. We are the leaders in acceptance of offers and compromise with awesome results.
We are also a small firm who will treat you like family and not just a number.
Call us today at 1-800-TAX-1176 for a free consultation, and we'll take the time to explain all of the programs that you qualify for in order to allow you a fresh start.
In John 8:36, so if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed. And one way we can achieve that is by being debt-free. So let us help you today. Call us at 1-800-TAX-1176, and together we can help achieve this goal by putting the IRS tax debt behind you for good. Again, that number is 1-800-TAX-1176.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at SimpleTech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, SimpleTech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp is here. A free solution. WYSL, Rochester, New York. WACK, Newark, New York. So happy you're giving me a chunk of your afternoon/morning. I do appreciate it. And I'm here trying to show you that there's some cool stuff happening and some not so cool stuff happening, and that we should be talking about it. And I hope you're enjoying it. Let me grab some of the comments. The comments come flying in I appreciate it. If you guys want to check these comments out, you can just go to a free solution on either YouTube or Facebook, and you can check them out. They're right there if you want to. Absolutely. So Nate says, just banning something doesn't mean it disappears. Very true. When is the last time you saw meth on the store shelf? Yep. Banning just means it moves to the black market and becomes less safe. Thank you, Nate. Exactly right. Thank you. Gene says, licensing is about collecting money for the government. Yes, and I have to add to this. That's the number one issue, right? They got to collect cash. I get it. There's a second issue, control. And they use control for things they shouldn't even control. Give an example. If people who owned businesses that had a liquor license weren't following COVID restrictions and guidelines, they'd remove the liquor license. What does that have to do with selling liquor to minors? Nothing. You shouldn't be able to do that, but they did. So you're not following restrictions. That's not affecting minors having alcohol. So why do you lose your liquor license? Because they can. So it's money, yes, and control. You don't pay a bill or a fine, right? With nothing to do with traffic, family court, take your driver's license. What's it to do with driving? You're on parole. You can't drive a car. What's it to do with driving? Take your license. They can take your professional licenses. Again, I go back to family law again. You didn't pay your child support, so you take your professional license. How are you going to pay the bill then? You can't go to work. But more importantly, what do they do to each other? I don't know. Garnish the guy's pay then, whatever. I mean, find another answer. But why would you do that? They're not related. It's just, I'm the government, and the more I license, the more I can punish you, which is why I'm not licensed. So yes. But yes, it is about money. It's also about control. It's about both. Yes. All right. Ed says, except to see job opportunities in black markets and secret events. I'm not sure what that's for, but that's a valid point again, Ed. When you're unable to get a job and the black market is there, you'll often go to the black market. This is often the lure of gangs, right? So I'm 16, 17, 18. I'm lost. I don't have a good job or good opportunities, or I'm not clear what I want to do. And a big black market gang is opening up. And they go, hey, you want to be a tough guy? I got a job for you. Pays great. Get to be big tough guy. And I'm a 16, 17-year-old boy who's trying to figure out how to be like a man. That sounds good to me. And I've seen other people drive around in cool cars, having awesome clothes, being big man. I'm going to do that. There we go. Job opportunity in the black market. You're correct. Absolutely. So Joe says, when people started having medical problems here from vapes, the people running the cess shops, this pops up, said, no more vapes allowed without verified test results. Wow. Look how good that is. The people themselves here said, let's have verified test results. That's the free market. So government didn't force them. They said, let's have, that happens in health food stores, natural food stores, all over the place. Yes. Gene says, one thing I don't think people understand is that our rulers don't want to actually solve problems. If they did, they'd lose their jobs. Without perpetual problems, how will they keep passing more and more laws? I wish it wasn't that simple, Gene, but you're right. It kind of is that simple, right? I've got to be able to solve something. Otherwise, how can I validate my salary and all the power I have? So let me just keep doing things. This goes to what Mr. Whitfield says. Why do we think mandates are an act of compassion? Because you got to do something. Don't you care? Don't you care? If you don't care, you don't want to do anything. You care, right? So do something. Absolutely. Go do something. I did something. Okay, it didn't work, but I do care. See? Absolutely. Yes. Brian says, I tell young graduates to never half A anything, because with a little effort, just like the government, you can
John Rochester.
Yes, I completely agree. Well done, Brian. Let me grab a call. I'm going to grab John from Rochester. John, how are you, sir?
Hey, Larry, I'm doing good. You know, you're talking about black markets, and I can relate to that. I wish there was a black market for car headlights. I just finished paying $1,400 for a headlight.
Yep. Yes.
Honest to God.
And what you've said a big deal right there, right? You just said, I wish there was a black market for headlights. And you're not alone. There's a lot of people thinking the same thing. If you remember, there was a Saturday Night Live skit several years ago, and it was called Black Jeopardy. And Tom Hanks came on to the skit as the white guy who was the MAGA guy, right? He had a MAGA hat on, and he was the MAGA guy in Black Jeopardy. And the glory of this skit was this skit showed that no matter where you come from, there were certain things that we all have in common. And one of the questions was, you know, how do you get whatever, your refrigerator fixed? And they were like, well, you got to go to, you know, your guy in your town and get it fixed, which is the black market. And the black people had like a name, like, you know, it's Cecil or whatever. And he had a name, it's like Cletus or whatever it was. But it was still a guy who would fix things. Literally what you just said, the black market. And that is across all socioeconomic status, all racial ethnic groups. It doesn't matter. We all want a black market in car repair.
I know a friend of mine, his car has been in the shop for, I think, 2 weeks and maybe 3 weeks. I'll find out today. I forget what part hasn't come in yet, but this is the type of thing that I chalk it up to COVID, but I also chalk it up to socialism. I think socialism, we're going down that road, and you're going to have in short supply a lot of consumer goods.
2 minutes.
Yes. No, I think you've made a valid point. But I want to make sure. I don't want to chalk it up to COVID. I want to chalk it up to COVID lockdowns, the government reaction to COVID. Remember, and that nuance in my eyes matters tremendously. COVID doesn't shut down economies. The government shuts down economies.
Good point. Larry,
Yes.
Speaking of that, I think you have heard, and I think I've heard you talk about the Great Barrington Declaration that was done back, I think, over a year ago, which basically said that lockdown, this declaration was promoted and signed by thousands of scientists and epidemiologists who said that the lockdowns do more harm than good.
Absolutely true. Yes, no doubt. And the problem is, while there may be more people who get sick of COVID, that's possible. The other damage that is done is far greater. Suicide, pain, loss of respect, loss of jobs, poverty. There are, if I remember right, 50 million people in India who literally, if they can't work, they can't eat. So starvation, all type. You're totally correct, John.
And look at these 2-year-olds now in daycare. They have to wear masks. It's absolutely ludicrous.
It is. We're up against time, John. I appreciate the call so much, but I'm getting played off. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for giving me a chunk of your day. All my solutions always work, and they're always free. I will see you all next week.